Off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Yes, I'm back for drive time, and I'm so glad that I get to accompany you to work, which is not a bad place if we focus on what is good. And we have a good morning already from one of the sorority sisters. It is time for Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
You all know who she is. She's a Navy veteran, OBGyn certified, songwriter, singer, running for Congress, peach cobbler maker. I'm doing the highlights that I really, enjoy. And published author, started with poetry, and now has a complete collection of children's books. So welcome back to Dr. Tiffanie Tate. And you know that this is Peace Central. I'll say that. This is a show where we will not talk about the headlines, or if you're looking for them, please go somewhere else. Not that I don't want you to stay here, but we do not talk about anything that leaves you with the 4 A's: anxious, afraid, angry, or annoyed. Instead, I want you to feel amazing. So I have topics and guests and co-hosts to that end. And we start every weekday morning with the good life habit called breakfast. Not the one with calories, but one that'll end up making you feel better. Top of the bun of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich is, what are we grateful for outside of ourselves? And bottom of the bun, looking inside ourselves, what do we appreciate about ourselves? So, Dr. Tiffanie, what are you grateful for this morning?
I am grateful for discernment. Yes, discernment. Because a lot of times we think we know something and we don't necessarily know it well. And some people you are willing to stop your life for, you're willing to sacrifice for, and you're willing to drop everything for, fly all over the country for, give for, donate to, which is great, or just give to. And I think it's good. But if you are willing to do all these things for them and they're not even willing to take time out, make a phone call, give 30 minutes or an hour of their time for you at your lowest point, that makes you go, And I think when people show you who they are, you should believe it.
So that is more so the bottom of the bun. And wanted to and this is, this is the great thing about our show, is that it's good to be real about where you are. And I do that all the time. Usually I'm the one that's doing it. Dr. Tiffany's starting us off with that, which is good. She's obviously releasing something right now, which is good. I'll do my traditional gratitude of things outside of myself, and that is I am grateful that sirens go off anytime we're talking on the show on something that is true. So that was your siren. I am also grateful that my kids are down for Thanksgiving and getting everything prepared for the big turkey day tomorrow. I'm actually hosting, so I get to make all of the favorites, and I look forward to that of them remembering their own Thanksgivings when they were kids. And I use grape soda from a recipe from my manicurist friend who I've known for 28 years, and it makes the turkey very tender. So I'm grateful I have a great recipe. I am not allergic to the kitchen as I was in my past. And I look forward to having all the bounty. I'm grateful that I have stores that I can go to pick up stuff, and all of that really sometimes we take for granted stuff around the holidays. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for stretchy pants just in time for Thanksgiving because, when you get to eat, you're full and you don't have to worry about, as your belly kind of stretches out, you can still stay comfortable. Back in the old days when your pants were stretched, you have to unbuckle them. You don't have to worry about those when
Oh,
you have
that's
stretchy
such a good
pants.
one. That's a very good one. Great, great gratitude for stretchy
Mm,
pants. Yes, I do remember the buckle. Um, yeah, just remember, we don't have to eat everything we have,
mhm.
even though in my home, as soon as you cut or unwrap something, the calories disappear. That's the BS that I choose to believe. Let's see. I am grateful for cars that can bring my daughters from San Francisco and that I can drive. I love my car. My kids aren't crazy about it because they don't think it's safe enough. But I love my little Mazda Miata convertible that looks like a panda because it's black and white. One more gratitude.
I am grateful for heated and weighted blankets because you can kind of snuggle up with those, and they are perfect to just take a nice long nap. And it's just like being bundled in love.
Oh, great. I'm gonna go to the bottom of the bun, which is what do I like about myself? It's called weight training for your own. A lot of us are very hard on ourselves. I'm a recovering perfectionist myself, which means that it was very difficult for me to be happy. I was always saying, I'll be happy and when would never come, or if it came, it went. And then I was on to the next thing. So I want everybody to claim their birthright to be happy 88% of the time. So that means I got to look and like myself. What do I like about myself? And go to bed tonight thinking about that instead of what I don't like about myself, but what I don't like about you. So I like that I can be a cheerleader for hope and happiness, that I'm known for it, that I'm good at it 88% of the time, and that is what I get to do for the rest of my life.
I like the fact that I was asked if I owned a baking company. I thought that was the cutest thing.
Aw,
And I went
good.
to a potluck, and I took some of my I brought
Cobbler.
some of my baked goods, and they, when they had a sample, I had them nicely packaged, and they were like, "Oh, do you own a baking company?" And I said, "No, I do not." I was so flattered, and they were like, "Oh, these are really good." I brought, caramel corn and my, chocolate caramel chocolate chip cookies. And
Mm.
they were impressed, and needless to say, you haven't had those, you've only had the, peach cobbler.
And I'll
And
stick with that. I
that's
I
because you
I don't
haven't
doubt
had
it.
the
I don't
cookies
doubt
yet.
it. I don't doubt it, but honestly, it's just because I didn't grow up in a culture that actually had a lot of, uh, cookies and cake, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a caramel kid, I love anything caramel.
Okay. Well,
That's
caramel corn I'll have. So you made caramel corn from scratch?
yeah. I make my own caramel. Yes, I made homemade caramel corn.
Okay. Okay. I stand corrected. I will maybe absolutely love that too. But
And so, yeah, so they were like, "Oh my goodness, do you own a business?" Well, yeah, I own a business, but not a baking business. But
yeah,
I was like, that might be something that I'll do in the future."
it
So,
might be. It might be. Well, you were a contestant on a cooking show when you first
yes.
started with me.
Yes,
So
yes.
there you go. I appreciate my inner fashionista. And like you, people will ask not if I'm a cook or a baking company, but if I'm a fashion designer. So I take that as a compliment as well. And I'll say, thank you. No, I'm actually a psychologist, but I definitely love my sense of style. And there's only one thing better than seeing something out that you want to buy and you buy it and you just love it so much and then you bring it home and the double love it so much is when you find something in your closet that you weren't trying to match but matches perfectly with the thing that you just bought. I'm sorry, that's better than a good date. For me,
Mhm.
that is definitely, one of those yeah, mini O's.
Yes. You coordinate.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I remember when Nathaniel and Mia were in elementary school, and at this point, I was at Vanderbilt in residency, and I volunteered so much at their school, and I was a resident working, like, 60, 80 hour a week, and they actually thought I was a stay-at-home mom.
Wow.
Right, because I budgeted my time and my sleep in such a way that no matter what, I always spent so much time at the school volunteering. And, it was hilarious because they were like, "Well, are you a stay-at-home mom?" And I like the fact that I prioritize my time in such a way that I'm going to put the people whom I love first. And if you are fortunate to be one of the people I love, I'm going to prioritize you. And I like that about me that I can, and quality time is my love language. And I like the fact that I can identify, and you can have mixed love languages, but I like the fact that I can identify my love language and I can prioritize my time accordingly because a lot of people don't necessarily know how to love, know how to be loved, and know how to prioritize their time accordingly.
Mhm. And nice necklace, by the way.
I
Uh,
know. It was given to me by someone who I feel very, happy to be loved by and appreciated by.
yes, that was from the hippie market in Brazil, in Brasilia. So it's
Mm.
a tuto bang and it looks fabulous on you, if I do say so myself.
I was waiting for you to,
Yes, I just
appreciate
noticed
that.
it as you were talking. I'm glad you didn't point it out. That's very nice. That's it. That's a good breakfast right now because we've got a pretty big topic coming up. Thanks you for joining us for breakfast. I am absolutely certain that if you adopt this good life practice, especially the bottom of the bun before you go to bed, one, you're going to have a better night's sleep. And two, if you're feeling a little uncomfortable, that it sounded like both Dr. Tiffany and I were tooting our own horn. That says to me that there's some work to be done because, frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to approve of you? And in these days where people are saying they admit they are lonely, they're sad, they're depressed, the one person that has to be on your side, that has to be your biggest cheerleader, is you. The buck stops right over here. So please do practice this and see if you can't get over your discomfort in talking good about yourself. Lord knows we're comfortable with talking bad about ourselves and others, but I want to, especially this season. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us for breakfast every weekday morning. I'm here to do so with you. Just free subscribe on my YouTube TV channel where we broadcast live every weekday morning and Wednesdays with Dr. Tiffany. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. Dr. Tiffany, what is the topic of the day?
The topic of the day is gratitude and love. Love and gratitude. Gratitude and love. Because we are approaching the season of Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is about gratitude, gratefulness. And this is the season where we should be grateful and appreciate family, love, friendship, fellowship, and all that fun filled frolicliness. I think I made up a word.
I think
Frolicliness.
you did. I'm rubbing off on you.
It's beautiful, people. It's all good. So, as we
Perfect.
as we come together, I thought this would be a good time to just talk about friendship, fellowship, family, and all the positive things. Because right now we live in a special world. It's upside down, spinning around. So let's smack it, flip it up, and rub it down.
I knew that was coming. I just knew that was coming. Mom T is in the house. And do you mind, Dr. Tiffany? I'm getting that little bit of an echo. So that
It might be my heater. Let me turn my heater down.
okay. But Mom T's with her love. Definitely that is the love we're talking about for today's topic. It's funny when you said gratitude and love. There's not that song, Joy and Pain.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, that was the wrong one. But we
Hopefully, there's no
are.
pain.
There is some pain in love sometimes. Love hurts.
Yeah.
That's not a BS. It's a belief system that's actually sometimes true. But we're going to talk about all of that. Please do share us right now because we are live. If you know anyone that needs a little more gratitude and love or both, please have them join us. It's always more fun when we're interacting with our cashew gallery, as I call it. So, and we're not approaching Dr. Tiffany. We're in the season now.
Right. Right. We are
Right?
actually in the midst of it. But you know what I found? 60% of people report feeling thankful at least once a day.
Really? Well, you couldn't,
Right.
it's like one of those if you're happy, let your face know. Like
Mhm.
if you're grateful, let your mouth know. Because
Mhm.
I don't hear that. When I go out, all I hear is complaining. The
Mhm.
traffic, the holiday, the prices, the government, that. And it's like, talk to the
Yeah.
hand. I want to live in my bubble.
Mhm. And about 3/4 of people say that they feel thankful on most days. So statistically, the odds are ever in our favor.
Then I'm attracting the wrong kind of people. So I got to look at myself.
Right. So if we look at what's going on in the world, negatively, the news is bad, but internally, we're doing all right. So I think that's a good thing. And Americans, we say thank you about 6 times a day.
That's great. That's great. Dr. Wayne Dyer said 5 things every morning, and that will steep your life in a lot of good things. I say 8 because I'm an overachiever, and 8's a homophone for good fortune in Chinese. Ba is 8, fa is good fortune. So 8 things in the morning. We do it between us, I think, for breakfast,
Mhm.
and whoever's in the gallery. So yeah, we're doing good. We're above average.
We are. And family is the most common source of gratitude, with 84% of Americans reporting thankfulness for their family. Now, you may look at your family with a side eye and be like, I don't think I'm really thankful for you today. Well, it might be at that moment, depending on what they're doing at that moment. But statistically, they are on your side. Statistically. Now, we didn't say 100%. Okay. We're just talking about 84%. 84.
Yeah. And this is a discipline. It is not easy to focus on the family members who are great. We have a tendency, if we have 8 great family members and 2 problem children, we focus on those 2 problem children, whether they're adult or children. And we talk about them and we worry about them and we're afraid for them or we're angry at them. And then it really doesn't matter about the 8 that are good because all your focus is on that negativity. That's on us. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things we do on this show is try to get you to work that muscle of choice to focus on the people that are great, that are doing good things, that are, the ones that you're naturally grateful for. And then the ones that you're not naturally grateful for, you might want to take your eyes off of them. That's
Mm-hmm.
not so easy.
Absolutely. And then 69% says it's their health, 63% says their friends, and then another 63 memories. So a lot of times people will reflect and be like, oh, I remember when we had a good time there, or I remember that friend. So reminiscing, or I'm thankful for Dr. Marissa. She's like saying, I'm thankful for Dr. Tiffany. And whatever toots your horn or floats your boat, it's good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. People ask me all the time, why are you so positive? And I wish I could come up with a more scientific answer, but frankly, my dear, it just feels better.
Mhm.
When I look for the best in someone, if I look for the best in the situation, I use ICBW a lot, which stands for it could be worse. And whatever situation you're in, you have a choice. You can look at the things that are working or the things that are not working. Relationships, your car, your body, your work, your whatever it is. That's always your choice.
Right.
Which feels better?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you look at how you love one another, how you treat one another, how you respect one another, how you show up for one another, the quality of the relationships. Those make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk to moms for a second because both of us are moms, and mom tease a mom, and 1920 M Jack is a mom, I think.
Yes, she
Uh,
is.
she is okay. So let's do a special. This is my special message right now, a holiday message for moms. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all those who host. I'm hosting tomorrow, you're hosting tomorrow. The holidays can be a little stressful because you want to make everybody happy all the time. I mean, I'm a recovering codependent. I was brought up being told that if I made someone happy, thank you for that thumbs up, or that thanks for giving me the finger. This one, not the other one. We're told, if you did this or you did that, I will be happy. And hopefully you've learned now that you can't make people happy. That's their choice. And that the validation for, am I a good hostess? Am I, I have both of my daughters here and, I want them to be happy. But at some point I can't keep asking them like, what is, how can I make you happy? Plus, am I a good mom? And during the holidays when you're surrounded by a lot of family, am I a good family? Am I a good person? And I want us to anchor ourselves in the knowledge and the true belief, and the truth is that I'm a good mom 88% of the time.
Mhm.
And I did a good job. I can even say I did a great job as a mom. Sometimes I was a mom and a dad. a single mom, so I call it my mamily. And I really did the best that I could with the time that I had and the resources I had. And I worked my assets off, literally. Lost quite a few of those in the divorce process. And I know that my kids would have preferred not to have been through that, but I know that that has also helped them develop skills and qualities in adversity. And that I have to remember that I'm a good mom most of the time, no matter what happens this holiday, no matter what happens when someone says something you don't like, no matter what happens, that anchoring of the love for oneself is the most important thing in the holidays, actually all the time, but especially during the holidays. And if you can hear that and anchor that and really embrace that, you're going to have the best holiday ever.
Absolutely. Even if you show up imperfectly, the most important thing is that you show up, because the love is what people remember. People may not remember what you said or what you did, but they definitely remember how you made them feel.
Yes. And this is going to be one of those times where we don't exactly see eye to eye, even though I think we're talking at different angles here. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't really care, first and foremost, how you feel if I'm coming from the best place that I can.
Mhm.
Your feelings are your business, right? And so let's say I prepared the meal, if I did everything that and you still have a problem with me and you don't feel good, right? That's not on me.
Yes, yes. I completely get you. I'm coming from the perspective, you're coming from the perspective like you have an attitude. And I'm coming from the perspective like, oh, we love each other. So I'm showing you love, and we're showing love and support. You're coming from the perspective like you have an attitude, I have an attitude, and that's your issue that we have an attitude. And I can respect that. So yes, if we both want to have an attitude, that's fine. We can both have an attitude, and let's respect the fact that we both have attitudes. And if that's going to be it, go to each respective ring and ding, ding, ding. You stay in your corner, I stay in my corner. And I think that that's okay, because in all honesty, all the chaos was love disguised as bad decisions. And we can all just sit there, and bad decisions, the official flavor of Thanksgiving. And sometimes it's like that. And unfortunately, when we deal with that, we'll just have to realize it and live with it, because I think that's something we forget. Love doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real.
Okay. And let's just put the moose on the table. Which is my version of talking about the elephant in the room. If you're listening right now, I know that Dr. Tiffanie has a certain scenario in her head that she's talking from. And I also have a certain scenario that I'm talking from. And neither one of us have talked about the particulars. And so it sounds like we're disagreeing. We're actually agreeing.
Yes.
Yes, I got that now when you're talking. So I think your statement is absolutely right on the ball, is that love is not always that feeling of, oh, I love you so much, and the warm and fuzzies. That sometimes it's tough love, and sometimes it's you can love someone and just not feel very loving towards them at that
Mhm.
moment, which is okay. Doesn't feel okay. And that's a good expectation to look at. If you think that if you loved me, you wouldn't have said that. If you love me, you wouldn't have done that. That's an unrealistic
Yeah,
expectation,
that's
'cause we're
naive.
all human. That's not possible, because we are
Mhm.
human, right? So yeah, that's a good moose to put on the table. And holidays don't always bring out the best in people, because everybody's operating on their own, sadness or anxiety, or I have a little Happy 88 tool called dysfunctional bingo, family dysfunctional bingo. And I would get together with my girlfriend, and we'd go out for dinner, and we'd sit down and put the moose on the bingo card and say, well, this person's going to ask you, why have you gained so much weight? Or this person's going to ask you, when are you going to get married? Or this person's going to ask you, you shouldn't have got a divorce, or whatever it is that's going to push your button. So if you go into the holidays knowing that might happen, you can diffuse that first by making a game out of it. And then my girlfriend and I'll do it, and whoever has the highest score gets dinner bought after the holidays. So there, let's be real, which we do on the show, about love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And gratitude. We're not always going to be thankful for the people in our family.
Right. We are not. No, we are not.
Yeah. But but we're going to have some fun coming back to talk more about this. It is time to take a break for news, weather, and traffic here on KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. My name's Dr. Marissa. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with me on Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
We will be right back. Don't go away with more after word from our sponsor, news, weather, and traffic. Peace in. Peace out.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am running for California's 40th District for the U.S. House of Representatives. You want to visit my website and learn more about me. I am a veteran of the United States Navy. I served as a general medical officer for the Seabees during the global war on terrorism. I understand healthcare policy. You want someone who can help make a change and make a difference for the care of your family, your friends, and you. Elect me, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, physician, author, entrepreneur. Please visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. That is DrTateForCongress.com. Support me so I can support you. Again, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am running for California's 40th seat. Visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. My name, Dr. Tiffanie Tate. Thank you for your support.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pei's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it. Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my show central on my YouTube TV channel now. Over 4.2 million impressions. Thank you very much. 708 consecutive weeks. Those who said a show that didn't talk about politics or headlines wouldn't last over a year were kind of wrong. 13 and 3/4 year later, I am still here and so happy that you are here with me, streaming live every weekday morning, especially Wednesday mornings when we have our very special series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
She's a Navy veteran, a published author, an OBGyn, and now running for Congress, as you heard. She is my hostess, co-hostess with the mostest. Please welcome back to the studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate. And the topic of the day is
gratitude and love. And you know what I tell my kids all the time is that you cannot help who you are related to. So pick your friends wisely.
Yes, I do have family of choice as well. In fact, my bonus dad, Graham Martin, will be turning 96 on Friday. So happy birthday, dear Papa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. Yeah, I'm going to cut that piece and send it to him. Dr. Tiffanie has picked the topic of gratitude and love, and we got into it before the break in a loving way, looking at the imperfection of love and the challenge of being grateful sometimes. So, any other statistics?
Well, no, it's just basically that when you are trying to work through things, it can sometimes be a challenge for people. And when people are struggling, they're looking for support. And I think when people don't know what to do, they seek support from the people around them.
Yes, I'm doing I forgot to put up our story. So on Instagram. And how does that apply to us?
And so when you're trying to figure out how often people fall in love or look for love, there's no good answer on the frequency of something on something like that. So that was the interesting thing. But when it comes to Thanksgiving and gratitude, you can look at how that brings relationships closer together. And when you look at families coming together, you see people trying to rush and clean up in preparation for preparing their homes to entertain, as I'm sure you prepared your home for your children coming over, as Mia and I prepare the home for families coming here. And so it helps as you prepare to cook and clean together for the holidays. You have to treasure that special time with your significant other. If you lack a significant other,
Well, I have an insignificant other.
yes, that helps too. So
I gotta get one of those bump things as a thing.
that would be fun. More sound effects. And so you treasure. Oh, I like that.
All right.
The
You like that?
So you treasure your family and your friends because love doesn't always have to be loud. It can be like in the tiny things that you do. And I think a lot of times we need to treasure the tiny things that we do to show people that we care. And I think that that's important when we are showing love towards one another, whether it be with our family, our friends, and our insignificant others.
Yes,
Significant,
definitely.
insignificant others.
No, I like the insignificant. All right,
Yeah.
I just tagged you. Um, uh, I wanna I I know this is a little bit odd. I shouldn't be doing relationship coaching. I do it as part of my happiness work, even though I'm not in a relationship. But then again, the name of the show is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. But I have a formula. People ask me all the time, like, it shouldn't be that difficult, right? If you're in love and you're together, it shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't be that much work. And I think that is accurate. People always say, "Oh, relationships are so hard." Like if I had $1 for every time I heard that, it's like, okay, fine. Then why would I want one, right? But my formula is 80%. If you like being with and uh, having a relationship with that person 80% of the time, 80% of the time you're with them, you're happy, right? Then that's a pretty good relationship. But a lot of people are looking for that 100%. And I don't believe, maybe you'll
Mhm.
disagree with me or agree with me, 80% I think is the top, maybe 88%, but you cannot 100% of the time be happy with someone. I think there's something wrong, which is one of the reasons I have difficult having a relationship, because I do carry that BS, that belief system, unfortunately, because of the trauma that I went through, both as a child, and then it's very common for people who have gone through trauma to pick a mate who continues the trauma
Mhm.
subconsciously. So I think both of us did that. So I don't want to speak for you, but that is, it's hard for me to disagree and have conflict in a relationship, because that just throws me back into like the darkness of what I grew up with. That's my stuff. Ooh, I almost swore. That's my attack, right? That's what I have to work on. So being able to acknowledge that that person's not perfect, and 20% of the time they're going to drive you crazy, but 80% of the time they're fabulous. That's a good relationship. But then I have people that come and say, more women, sorry, that'll say, "Oh, no, I'm happy with them 80% of the time." But then they spend the rest of the hour talking about what drives them crazy about their insignificant or significant other. It's like, no, you're focused. Your 20% has now become 100%. That's on you. If you're 80% happy, why are you focusing on the 20 that is just normal, that makes you unhappy?
I think it's important, yeah. I think that you have to enjoy those precious moments, because those precious moments become memories, and they should be spent with those who you love the most. And as we enter this holiday season, time is the only resource that is not renewable, people. And so you need to treasure whom you spend your time with and prioritize it accordingly. And your significant, insignificant person, whether it be friend, whether it be family, give your time with the person you want to be with.
Mhm,
And I think that that's what you should do.
mhm.
And when you spend time with your Thanksgiving coworkers, your Thanksgiving friends, your Thanksgiving family, give it out of your spirit so that you feel comfortable. And like Dr. Marissa said, if it's at 80%, that's great. But your time is a non-renewable energy and a non-renewable source, and you have to do it accordingly and appropriately. And so I think that as long as you feel fulfilled and you feel satisfied 80 to 88% of the time, and you are being energized and fulfilled, go for it.
Yeah. I want to go to a very important comment made in our cashew gallery by the captain. You can love but not like the person's personality. I think of family, like you were saying, you can't choose your family. You can love uh people in your family, but not like their personality and or their choices. But what if it is, I mean, if it's a friend, I just don't understand how you can love a friend and not like their personality. Get me?
Maybe
So,
there could be aspects of it. So, say for instance, like you said, you may not like all aspects of their personalities. Maybe there's pieces of it that that you're not feeling, or maybe aspects of it, like maybe for the most part they're good, but sometimes they're selfish, or but they're not selfish all the time, or but for the most part they're great, but every now and again they do just a little quirk that might get to you, and you're like, okay, but they don't do it all the time, and you're like,
mhm,
okay, well, we can go out, but then when they do that one thing, I'll bring it up and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, and you're
mhm.
like, okay, well, we can work around it because for the most part they're okay. And so
Yeah, I think maybe is this Z Queen with a different,
yes,
oh, okay. I thought so. The
that's your
the
usual
picture look.
captain of the cashew gallery.
Yes, but she's got a different handle today. So, so Z Queen, you put tolerance. So, without outing whoever you're talking about, is it a friend or family? And is the choice because of what Dr. Tiffany just said? It's a 20% thing, and that aspect of their personality. I guess I took it as their entire personality you don't like, then why would you be with them? Or why would you call them a friend? Or why would you spend time with them? I can understand there are people in my family where I do not like their personality in totality. Like there's like some of their personality completely overshadows all the rest of them, right? It's not an aspect of their personality, it's their whole personality. And I don't like them, right? Now, as a family member, do I have to love them? So,
Or what if they get loud every now and then when they're talking, or
or
they
when
they
they're
talk and
drinking.
then yeah, and then they every periodically they get very loud and, overshouts everybody, and you're like, "Hey, do you really have to do that? Maybe you should tone it down a little bit." And so, because I have some family members, we have big mouth people in my family. I'm not gonna say who they are, because, they might eventually listen to the show. But, I have some big mouth people in my family, and so maybe from time to time they might get a little rambunctious. They need to maintain low tones, but they don't always do that.
Mhm.
And I definitely love them, and I'm not going to stop being around them. I'm not going to not claim them as family, but I think that you still want to own them, you still want to be around them, but you kind of give them the side eye from time to time.
Mhm, mhm. And yeah, she just clarified for me, Z Queen. Thank you. Friends we can leave, family we have to deal with. That's the tolerance. If I don't like someone's personality, I wouldn't spend time with them. And, that's one of the things that does happen at holidays. People that you don't normally spend time with, you will spend time with them. You have to. And I guess my point with the dysfunctional bingo is family just putting the fun back into dysfunction, is that if it is family members and there is something that annoys you about them, try to look at the things that don't annoy you about them.
Mhm.
And if you can't do that, just don't look at them. Like, don't put yourself in harm's way necessarily. I had someone say something beautiful to me, and I wish I could give them credit, but they told me when they knew I was going to go into a very highly negatively charged family situation where I was gonna get like verbally beat up, just it happens every year kind of thing. She said to put flowers all over me. So when people picked on me, they would get a flower, which I thought was a beautiful visual for me going home for the holidays that year. So uh that was useful. Hopefully somebody can find that useful too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting because as we go through life and as we deal with different situations, we come across different types of people and different types of friends. And I was always taught people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yeah.
And kind of when I was talking about, I'm grateful for discernment. You notice I didn't say that it was something that I naturally have as a quality. I am grateful for discernment, but it is something that I'm actually working on actively. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to say that I am a master of it as of yet. It is a quality that I am developing because I will say that I'm a waffler when it comes to it because sometimes I can discern it and sometimes I'm like, I'm a little iffy. So um, I am operating in the spirit of growth when it comes
Mhm.
to discernment.
Yeah. And I think part of it is related to you want to see the best in people. You
Right.
give people the benefit of the doubt. You put people first in front of you more than I would like to see you do that. And I think that's related to the discernment because you give of yourself so much sometimes that it's almost an overgive, and that's normal for both of us. We didn't have that model for what that was, and we had people who were like tractors who did not give milk. And the aspect of us that continues to go to the tractors to try to get milk, that means we go to people who aren't capable of giving us what we're asking for. It isn't unreasonable, right? What we're asking is not unreasonable. However, instead of going to people, and let me see if I have this definition. Your definition of discernment is discerning people who may have milk in their storage, their actual cows versus tractors. That's discernment. Okay, how many times do I have to go to this tractor to figure out they ain't giving me milk ever, right? And my expectations are out of whack. And how can
Mhm.
I learn how to recognize that sooner rather than later when I've already spent all the energy trying to milk a tractor? That visual. And know quicker to go to people who I know have milk in their udders.
Right.
How's that for yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So Z Queen. Well, friends, we don't really leave. It takes a lot to become a friend. To earn that label is substantial. Acquaintances are the one in front. Okay, that totally makes sense, and I'm fully on board with you. Um, I have to be honest. I don't do well with. I have a lot of acquaintances. Let's just put it that way. Because of my past, I have a tendency to do this. And that means come here, I want to be your friend, or I want you to be my friend. And then when they get a certain distance, I'm like, okay, we're good. Don't come, too much closer. I'm not comfortable with that much. And so that maybe we should do a whole show on what makes a friend, because I know that
Mhm.
the very first time I thought I had a best friend and introduced her to people as my best friend, she pulled me aside and said, you are a friend, but you're not my best friend. I already have a best friend. And it obviously, it still like hurts my heart to remember that. So from that point forward, friendship has not been the easiest concept for me.
I completely get it. And a lot of times, as we navigate this thing called life, we develop different levels of relationships be they platonic or more intimate. And when I mean intimate, I'm talking about friendships, romantic, and familial, because even within your family, you have your immediate, close-knit family, and then you have your peripheral family, because you have people who you're close with in your circle of family, and then you have your peripheral distant cousins. And so I have cousins who are more like sisters, and then I have distant cousins. And so you always have these different layers of relationships. So when you get together for the holidays, there's all these different political dynamics, even within the family. And so as you come together, protect your peace, people. Protect your peace, because it's all about your sanity and your health. And I want you to enjoy your holiday season. So as we wrap up this special on gratitude and love, my wish is that you stay healthy, you stay happy, and remember that gratitude does not end when the meal does.
Beautiful. My final word is gratitude for me is gratefulness. So great as in GREAT, not grating on you, GRATE, but gratefulness. And I do want to have that feeling of gratefulness. And that's why I am grateful. And we have a bite of the gratitude sandwich. It is a main staple of my life and of my co-hosts as well. Thanks for joining us today. A great conversation as usual. If you're listening to this and it's not Thanksgiving, it's after Thanksgiving, then apply it to Christmas or apply it to every single day of your life, because gratitude and gratefulness and love are what we're here on the planet for.
Mm-hmm. Can I give a final word since we have a few more
I thought that
minutes?
was the final word.
Oh, I was just saying, as we wrap up. Nope.
Okay.
That was the gratitude. Now this is the love. So
Okay.
remember, love is something that we can give freely every single day. So just take note to whom you are giving your love and energy to this holiday season, and make beautiful memories that last a lifetime, because today is the present. That's why it's called a gift. Be blessed.
Absolutely. My final word then is, again, no, my wish is that your turkey be tender and your carrots be sweet. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Dr. Tiffanie, take us out.
Now go and have the best day ever.
And I forgot one thing, and we do have a minute for this. Go shop at Maggie's Red Kitty out in Studio City. She's the show's one of the show sponsors all week. So I told her I would mention. I almost forgot to mention that. And please vote for my fashion designer, Beata J. Story. She is a finalist in the Elton John's Foundation Style Icon. So those are the two commercials I forgot to do during the break. But thank you, Dr. Tiffanie. As always, it is a pleasure of gratitude and love. Go and have the best day ever, folks. And Z Queen and Mom T, always fabulous to have you in studio with us. Have the best day ever.
Take back your life.